So, I see a headline that Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump met with a coalition of black pastors. They don't even identify him. It's a brother that looks like Brian Pumper in Omarosa. How long was introductions and greetings? That had to be like, what, a 3-4 hour meeting? Hey, sister, how you doing? Hey, brother, how you doing? Hey, brother, hey, brother. This press conference and meeting happened to fall on the eve of the day that Rosa Parks decided to sit on the bus and she wasn't getting up. And it's funny because if you know the true story of that, you know that it was a strategic thing as much as it was her having her own gusto to go about and stand up for what she felt was wrong or what she felt was right. And then I see a group of people who stand for nothing. And if anybody needs to sit down, they need to sat down. I said sat down because they should have sat their ass down a long time ago. Ideas are great to have at the table when you're coming to a table mutually. When there's mutual, equal, beneficial investment and outcome when you sit down at the table. So y'all did get played. It was like a bad Thanksgiving. Y'all sat down and y'all trying to bring us back a blanket full of syphilis and smallpox. I'm good. These preachers trying to be popular. They're trying to be populist preachers. And you can see right through it if you're awake. You guys didn't discuss policy. You guys discussed dreams. I looked the brother up. Come to find out his name is Dr. Darrell Scott. And if you look at his Twitter profile picture, he looks like a little kid in a Nickelodeon commercial because he's just standing there like this. Like he does one of those comedian poses. His little chin strap, like your chin strap don't even look like it's strong enough to hold up your jaw. Your chin strap's as weak as Donald Trump's policy for black people. Like, I don't trust you. I will refuse to take them serious because I refuse to take Donald Trump serious. He's like Dennis the Menace grown up that got spoiled and just is running around saying whatever he wants to say. But because of this new revolution of reality TV, we just buy into the bullshit. And Dr. Jamal Bryant hit him with the clap back, and he was like, you know what? I was wrong.
I want to apologize because prostitutes get money. And the 100 that went in there walked away with nothing. They did it for free. So there's another word for that, and I would not use that language on the family channel.
One, any presidential candidate understands that we are not a monolith. A group of 100 pastors do not represent the sentiments of all of us. Matter of fact, you have a group of 100 black pastors that supposedly represent what's going on in the community, but you have nobody that is doing the action in the community in the room. It doesn't make sense. Like, who is his political liaison? Besides this brother that, you know what? That dude looked familiar. The dude that looks like freaking Brian Pumper.
That's him.
No. I think I know his daddy. Remember that meme with the dude with the hair weave and the goatee and people that let it go? You say if Trump called black preachers prostitutes on the pole, the entire nation will be in an uproar. Black preachers matter. That right there lets me know there are fundamental flaws in your logic of thinking. One, by you saying black preachers matter, that hashtag is again detracting from Black Lives Matter. Two, of course we'd be in an uproar because it's a white man calling a bunch of black preachers prostitutes on a pole. Like, duh. And then Omarosa, like, you got fired.
You know, I've always been a big Omarosa fan, but Omarosa, you're fired. This was not close.
Thank you for bringing me
Thank you very much.
I'm not saying people are sellouts. I understand reaching your hand across the aisle, trying to get an understanding of the other candidates that are out there. But at the same time, when does it end? Like, when does the propaganda and the charity preaching and all that, when does it end? The fact that I'm spending the time to talk about it kind of, you know, makes me mad at myself. At the same time, I decided to talk about it in a scratch the surface type of way because that's all the media is feeding a lot of the people who are witnessing this. It's sensationalized headlines like Trump meets with black pastors or Jamal Bryant says you're prostitutes on a pole. Those are it. It's sensationalism that's going to capture people, and people nowadays are like spark notes. There's a spark note generation going on where you just read a couple blurbs and that's it, and you think you got the whole story, and that's not the case. It was the same people at the March on Washington talking about justice or else, and then another one gets shot, and another one gets shot, and another one of us gets shot, and there's still no justice or else. So Trump, you could have him. Like, if Dave Chappelle does the racial draft, we'll trade them 100 for 1 for a Tim Wise or something. T.D. Jakes said in the sermon, he's like, we don't need any more preachers. He's like, we need more scientists, more doctors, more lawyers, whatever. And he's completely right. Because this band that got together don't make no sense. Matter of fact, the brother that got on CNN with Pastor Jamal Bryant to debate him, the first words out of his mouth was,
You have made a decision to endorse Donald Trump.
right?
Well, endorse in the sense of James Davis, not as the pastor, but as the individual, because there is a fine line legally that pastors cannot endorse political candidates with the title pastor in front of it. But as James Davis, the man, I stand in support of Donald Trump.
All right.
I realize I can't be shocked and appalled because in a way these things go hand in hand. Preaching and politics. We talk about the separation of church and state, but you go to church for the message and not the messenger. Hopefully you pick your political person for the message and not necessarily the messenger, but they're kind of intertwined. In this case, I don't trust either one. The message nor the messenger. They're both inherently flawed. We will be back. I think I'm going to keep doing these and I'll figure out a better format, but
Black people stay strong.
we're going to be all right, in the words of Kendrick Lamar. And read Claude McKay if we must die.
I feel like we're living in the 60s.